Hello, 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 YouTube. How's everybody doing today? I'm just sitting out here in my balcony. It's almost midnight and I should be in the bed, but I just felt led to make another video before I go to sleep tonight. I'm just sitting out here in my balcony and it's beautiful weather, just catching this beautiful breeze tonight, you all. I just want to make a quick video. I'm not going to be before you guys long about the signs of being a scapegoat in a narcissistic family. So I have wrote on this paper, I have a list of some of the other things that I had experienced of being a scapegoat in a narcissistic family. So I'm just going to jump right into this video, you guys. So as a child growing up, when my mother was living, we used to have Thanksgiving and Christmas, over my mother's house. Every year we would have Thanksgiving and Christmas over her house every year. All of my siblings would come over, my nieces, nephews, in-laws, whatever, they would come over and we would celebrate. But when they would come over as a child, when my family and stuff would come over, I always felt, depressed when they was coming over. And I never quite understood, why I would feel so down when they would come over, and everything. And I never quite understood that. And I just want to go over this list right quick and everything. So these are some of the things that I have experienced, as being a scapegoat. So, and again, also, as being a scapegoat in a narcissistic family, I always felt out of place. I felt like I never belonged in this family. I always felt isolated, alienated. I always felt different. I just didn't understand. But now as I got older, I understand why I felt that way. And I realized that God has appointed me to be the generational curse breaker of my toxic family. Because in every family, everybody, He's going to appoint somebody in that family to be the generational curse breaker. He's going to point out somebody. And I realized I'm the generational curse breaker of my toxic family. So this is the reason why I have been mistreated, why I have been alienated, ostracized, criticized, disrespected, slandered, reputation tarnished, and everything. Because see, the devil, he knows the anointing. He knows as a child what you carry. He knows the light that you carry. He knows the anointing, the calling. He knows that you are a threat to his kingdom. So what he does, he employs your toxic family member against you. It's all by design. And it took me a long time to figure it out, because I didn't know anything about no narcissistic personality disorder, psychopaths, sociopaths. I didn't know anything about that. The world call it, narcissistic personality disorder. But really these people, they have the Jezebel spirit and the spirit of Leviathan. It's all mind control, witchcraft, and control. That's what the Jezebel spirit is. She's all about mind control and witchcraft and manipulation. So I'm just going to go into this list that I have wrote. These are some of the things that I experienced, growing up in a narcissistic, toxic family. So I'm just going to jump right in, y'all. Okay, when you are the scapegoat in the family, you never, like I said, you never quite fit in. You are targeted for abuse. Your family, they like to gang up on you. That's one of the things I experienced that many a times, being ganged up on. They like to isolate you. They like to call you crazy, say you have mental illness when you try to speak up against their abuse. And also, you are the one that's going to be treated the worst out of any other family member. You are going to be treated the worst out of anybody. And also, you are also going to be the blame. You're going to be blamed for the toxic family dysfunction in the family. Because, see, the thing is, your toxic family, they don't want to take accountability for anything. So it's easy to discredit you. Tell you crazy or you got mental illness because you dare to tell the truth about their dysfunction. So they don't like nobody calling them out on their dysfunction. They just want to just go on like nothing ain't happening. You know, they the righteous one, but you the devil, you know. You the toxic one. You the crazy one. So it's easy to point out a scapegoat when no one wants to take accountability. They don't want to take accountability for their negative, toxic ways. So yes, they're going to blame you and say you the problem. And also, when any problems rises up in the family, guess what? You are to blame. Basically, you're going to be blamed for even breathing, even existing. They're going to blame you, target you for, you know. And also, you're going to be the target for their hatred, their bitterness, their insecurities. Anything that they feel insecure about, their flaws, they're going to project it onto you. All their negativity, their toxicity, their poison, they're going to spill all that poison onto you. They're going to try to guilt trip you, try to shame you, make you feel less than, make you feel like you garbage. They're going to talk about you to any and everybody. They're going to slander, gossip about you behind your back. They're going to go outside of the family, having people looking at you like you crazy, tarnishing your reputation. And then by that time, when you get fed up and you lash out and you tell them about themselves, about the abuse that you're not taking no more, guess what? You're going to be gaslighted. Oh, no, ain't nobody did nothing to you. You making this all up. Ain't nobody did nothing to you. You crazy. You belong in a mental institution. You a nut. You crazy. And the people who they gossiping about you to, they are nothing. They just as toxic as they are. They are nothing but some enablers. So, you know, by the time you do try to speak up for yourself and demand that you be treated, you know, as a human being with basic rights, guess what? You're going to be met with resistance. And also the people that they gossiping and talking bad about you too, guess what? They're going to be on the narcissistic side. They're going to be on a narcissist side. They're going to be on their side. They're going to tell you, well, maybe it's something you doing. You know, maybe it's something you said why they are, maybe that's the reason why they're against you. Maybe it's something you did. And when you clearly know you haven't done anything. And also, they're going to label you as the abusive one, the rebellious one, the troublemaker. And you are also going to be punished for sticking up for yourself, telling the truth about these people. You know, because we scapegoats, we are the truth tellers. We are the most healthiest person, the healthiest people in the family. We're the most wholesome, the most wonderful, kind, sweethearted, decent human beings. We're the most kind-hearted, the most decent ones that's in the family. And then when you finally get the nerve, the courage to stand up against these people, guess what? Because what they call it reactive abuse. When you're abusers, they provoke you, they poke at you, as they call it, poking the bear. Then finally, when you have enough, you had enough the abuse, the mistreatment, and finally you lash out at them. Now all of a sudden, oh, you crazy. See, I told you she was this way, this and that. It's called reactive abuse. That's what it's called. When you're abusers, when they constantly abusing you, kicking you while you down, constantly provoking you, and then finally when you get fed up, now they trying to make you feel guilty. And the only thing people can see is how you reacting. But nobody is talking about what goes on behind the scenes, how these people been mistreating you, dogging you out for many years, to any and everybody. And also, I'm here to tell you, you scapegoats, the devil, he loves to thrive, for you to thrive in silence. He don't want you to, the devil don't like to be exposed. So by you keeping silent and keeping quiet, the devil, he just out here, just running rampant, just slandering, gossiping your name and stuff and everything, while you just staying quiet. So I'm here to tell you, scapegoats, you don't have to stay quiet. And it's not that I'm trying to be evil, like I'm just going on how they treated me, like I'm going on a smear campaign. No. God has led me to tell what I've been through, because you guys, we didn't go through this just to be going through this. God allowed us to go through a lot of this abuse so we can be a help to somebody else. This is our testimony. Our pain is for our purpose, to birth something in us. The things that we went through, the abuse and everything, and the trauma stuff that we went through, it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not in vain. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not in vain. The pain, the trauma, the abuse that we went through, it's all for the glory of God. And it's time for us to tell our story. And the devil, he loves for you to be silenced. He thrives in silence. So, and your abusers, they don't want you to come out here and, and tell your story. Because when you tell your story, you're going to get free. This is a healing journey for me. I'm getting free, by telling my truth, by telling my story, because, when you sit in silence, this stuff, that all this abuse and stuff that they did to you, it just, it just stays buried inside of you. It hinders your calling. And so it's a time and purpose for everything. It's a time for you to be silent, and it's a time for you to, to go out here and say, hey, this is what happened to me. Because what your toxic abusers did to you, your family members, co-workers, whoever, your friends, whoever abused you, whoever, do not stay silent, of the abuse. You tell your story. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm telling my story, and I'm not ashamed of anything that I went through in my life. Because what may be tea to you is a testimony for me. And I'm here to, encourage anybody. Do not stay silent. Because the devil, he loves for you to stay in silence. Because these people, they don't want you to, expose them. They don't want you to tell all this low down dirty stuff that they did to you behind closed doors, because they want, they got this facade, this persona, that they this righteous, this Christian and this and that. Behind closed door, they doing the devil's work. They acting a whole fool out here behind closed doors. So that's all I want to tell you guys. I just want to tell you about the signs and the things that I've been through, growing up, the signs of being a scapegoat. So guys, I'll be talking back to you guys. I'll be talking back with you later. I want you to like, subscribe, comment on my channel. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me. So I'll be back with another video. See you guys later. Bye-bye.